I'm super excited to have a chat with you this afternoon on the 3 causes of self-sabotage. So what does this mean? What is self-sabotage and who's ever done it? Self-sabotage is defined by Rebecca Ray as wanting to head in a certain direction but finding yourself stalled, placing things in front of you that mean you can't actually achieve what it is that you value, or can't actually head toward where you want to go. Now, who has ever done self-sabotage? So essentially said, yes, I'm going to change my career. Yes, I'm going to improve my relationship. Yes, I'm going to improve my health. But I might just have a packet of chips first and sit on the lounge for a bit longer and then think about it for another few days, weeks, months, years. And so we find ourselves looping around, not really heading where we want to go and wondering why we can't move forward. So I want to share with you this afternoon just one key story around self-sabotage, what causes it, and what we can do about it, because we're all guilty of it. We all do it. It's a human, it happens in human nature. We're human beings. But what we want to be able to do is live a life of fulfillment despite our external circumstances, despite our environment, and be able to move toward what we value and what's important for us in our lives without preventing and stopping ourselves. And so essentially that is the essence of self-sabotage. Now, before I get started on the story, I do know that I've got a Win a Retreat prize happening at the moment. The winner will be announced on Monday. I will collect the winner from the ballot draft on Friday. So the winner will be told in person on Friday, but it'll be announced on Monday. So for those of you who are keen to watch that, stay tuned. And on top of that, I will be hosting a virtual retreat soon, but I'll talk through the details in a moment. Let's get started with self-sabotage. So what is self-sabotage? I like to share this as a story. I was a physiotherapist. I still am a physiotherapist, and I was working from my physiotherapy clinic back in 2019. So this is a story from 2019. I don't know if any of you remember, for those of you that are in Australia, the fires that were in Australia in 2019. Almost the whole of east coast of Australia was on fire at one point. It was a pretty disastrous year. And where I live in Peregian Beach is no different. So it was 2019. I was working from my physiotherapy clinic, and my clinic has a beautiful window where I can look outside at the trees. And I was treating a patient with her hip pain. And I remember looking outside that day and thinking to myself, oh, it's dry and windy. It looks like a fire day. Now, this is a very strange thing to think, because in Queensland, where I live, it's tropical, it's normally humid, it's normally lots of rain, very wet. I've never seen a fire in Queensland in my life prior to this. And I grew up in the Blue Mountains in New South Wales. I don't know if anyone knows the Blue Mountains, but they're prone to bushfires. So I grew up recognising it's fire season, it's fire danger, it feels like a fire day, let's pack our bags. Fire days really had the sense of something eerie is in the air, the wind is hot and dry, the animals are quiet, something's about to happen. So if any of you have grown up in fire-prone areas, you'll understand the feeling. So I was massaging my patient's hip this particular day in Peregian, and I looked out the window and something inside me said, this is a fire day. And I don't know why that popped into my head. But within about 10 minutes of that thought, I had a knock on my door from my receptionist. And she said, just to let you know, there's a fire that started in Coles just down the road, a kilometre down the road from us. And my instant thought was, I've got to get home and pack my bag. This is an emergency. It's going to be a fire day. This is like all of my alarm bells were ringing. I must move now. This is going to be really bad. It's a fire day. And I said to my patient, look, I think I better go home. There's a fire. And she said, don't worry about it. It's fine. It'll just be a small local fire. Take a breath. And at that stage, I'd recognised that she'd already paid for her treatment in advance when she walked in. And I wanted to be a good physio. I wanted to get it right. I thought to myself, well, look, I'll just treat her and see what happens. 15 minutes later, my secretary knocks on the door and says to me, the fire has jumped the motorway. When the fire jumps the motorway, it's not a small fire, it's a big fire. So all of my alarm bells start going off. This is going to be really bad. This is going to be really bad. And I said to my patient, look, I think I better go. And she said, don't worry, you'll be able to drive home on the other road. Now I started resenting her. I started like massaging her, thinking, oh, how dare you keep me here? I need to go home. You're stopping me. Then about 5 minutes after that, the secretary knocks on the door and says, we're evacuating now. I said, okay, fine, we're evacuating. I raced down to my car, drove along the road, realised the road was blocked, needed to go like a 40-minute diversion, start ringing my husband saying, it's panicking, it's a fire, let's move, let's pack. And he was like, just relax. It's okay, it's just wait and watch, it's okay. And I start to think to myself, am I overreacting? Is this just like an overreaction? I eventually get home, pull in the driveway. Glenn's talking about a fishing trip with his friends. I walk upstairs and my parents-in-law are sitting upstairs in the lounge room, and they're having a cup of tea. And my father-in-law is an ex-fire brigade, and I said to him, "Have you packed a bag? Like there's a fire nearby." And he said, "No, just relax, wait and watch. That's all it is at the moment." And I'm thinking, oh, well, okay. Perhaps I'll just wait. Maybe I'm overreacting. I'm probably overreacting. I go into my room to start to pack a bag and think, look, I'm probably overreacting. Yeah, I'll just make a cup of tea. Just relax, Nick. So I made myself a cup of tea, and by the time I'd made tea and started to walk down the hallway, the fire had hit us. Glenn opened the door, started screaming for us to get out. It was pitch black outside, even though it was 4:30 in the afternoon. I ran out the door with my handbag and the only thing I could find in the lounge room at the time, which was a leopard print scarf. Don't know why I took that. This is what you do when you're panicking, is you take crazy things. And we ran to our cars with embers flying. It was super loud, it was dark, there were police, fire brigade everywhere trying to evacuate people. We couldn't see anything for not only the darkness but also the smoke. We managed to get out. And luckily for us, we were safe. Nobody's lives were lost. And it was only 3 days later that we got back to our house and realised our house was intact. We lost a lot of our backyard and back fences, but we were intact. Now here's a lesson from this. Everything I did on that day represents self-sabotage. And here's what it was. I wanted to be perfect. I wanted to go home because I knew it was the right thing to do. My intuition was telling me we need to pack a bag. It's a fire day. This is what I need. But I want to be perfect. I want it to be right. So I'll just wait here. I won't do the thing because what will she think? I'll just want to make it everything certain and perfect and get it all the ducks lined up in a row and make sure that I do the right treatment for this woman. Perfectionism will cause self-sabotage. Where are you stalling and waiting for everything to be perfect before you make a move? The next thing that I did, people pleasing. People pleasing in that when I said to this woman, I need to go now, and she said, look, don't worry about it, you'll be able to drive home in another way. I thought, well, I better make sure she's happy. I'm worried about what will she think. And then part of me also started resenting her about it. And she wasn't making me stay. It was all on me. It was all on me. So where are you people pleasing? Knowing that you need to change something, but worried about what will someone say, and then starting to resent them for it instead. They're not stopping you. They're not stopping you. It's you. And she wasn't stopping me either. But at the time, I was like, how dare she? And that's the true recognition that people pleasing always has a layer of resentment underneath, because we know we need to be doing something else. So procrastination, number one. Number two, people pleasing. Number three, perfectionism, sorry, is the first one. Number two, people pleasing. Third one that I wanted to target is procrastination. Thinking, oh, well, look, I'll do it later. Maybe not now. I won't pack my bag now. I'll just have a cup of tea. Something else will happen. It's just wait and watch. Don't worry. Let's just pause. So these are three. Now, there's other self-sabotage habits, but these are the three most common ones that I see in all of us. Is I want to make a change, but I'll wait till the time's right. I'll wait till it's perfect. I'll wait till it's a Monday or it's a full moon or it's New Year's Day. Now I'll make a change. I want to make a change, but I want it to be perfect. So I'm not going to do it until it's perfect. Or I want to make a change, but I'm worried about what people will think. And as I pause and wait and worry, I now start to resent them, but I'm really resenting me because I should make a change, but now I'm just worried about it and I can't move. So perfectionism, people pleasing, procrastination. I might just make a cup of tea first. So where in your life is there a fire coming and you know you need to make a change, but instead you're waiting for it to be perfect, you're worried about what people will think, you're looping in procrastination, making a cup of tea instead. These are the things that we do. And so I wanted to address this primarily because I think there's a way through all of this. There are ways to hurdle these habits, and I explore it completely in my Rise Up program, but I'm also going to be exploring it in my upcoming virtual retreat. So the virtual retreat for everybody who wants to come is going to be the 11th and 12th of April. So mark the diary. For anyone that's interested, just pop in virtual retreat. It's all via Zoom, which means you can turn up in your pajamas as you are, and we can just spend a weekend together. But I'll be going through clear ways of overcoming and hurdling self-sabotage, so you can start putting fuel in your tank again, conquering depletion, and start heading toward a life of fulfillment with calm, confident clarity, rather than the overwhelm that can happen. So for those that are interested, just you can type in the chat or reach out to me via DM, no problems, and I can give you the details. But the question to ask yourself, if you know that you want to make a change, but you're waiting for the time to be right, or you're worried about what people will think and then kind of resenting them at the same time, or you're procrastinating, the one key question to ask yourself is, if I continue this where I am right now for the next 1 month, 6 months, year, 2 years, 5 years, where will I be? Where will I be in a year's time, 2 years' time? How much longer do I have to wait to make a change? And then the next question is, what is one imperfect step that I can take right now? Just one small step. Because overwhelm is only conquered by taking one small step at a time. So I hope this story on self-sabotage, this is a true story, I hope this story on self-sabotage has planted some seeds of ideas within yourself. Where are you? Perfectionism, where is that holding you back? Where is people-pleasing holding you back? Where is procrastination holding you back? Procrastination and perfectionism are very closely linked. And there's a quote by, I think it's Brené Brown, that says, perfectionism is just procrastination in high heels. I think that's a great saying. But ultimately, those three hurdles can mean we just stay stalled and we just stay treading water in the same position and with the same problems without actually letting ourselves move forward. So if you want to know more about how to move forward, how to overcome these hurdles, then I invite you to DM me or pop in the comments retreat, because I will be running a virtual retreat, so it's easy for everyone to access. Can't wait to share that.